It has been my privilege for the past 17 years to be an administrator in Strongsville City Schools. First as principal at Zellers Elementary School, principal at Kinsner, director of human resources, assistant superintendent, and now superintendent for the past 3 years. As we look to the future of Strongsville City Schools, it is bright. When you take a look at the changes that will be made in the next 5 years, and I want to thank the community for the passage of the $81 million bond issue, because without that bond issue, these changes would not have been possible. We will have a $46 million middle school that will open in August of 2016 that will consolidate grades 6, 7, and 8. By that period of time, we will have 5 elementary schools and a renovation to the high school of $27 million that will bring our high school into the 21st century. So the future is bright for the Strongsville City Schools. I think our district has accomplished a lot. Are we finished? Absolutely not. All of us can improve, and each and every day in the Strongsville City Schools, we strive to improve and get better together.
You know, when I decided to look at a career path for myself, I wanted a career that made a difference. And education was that career for me. And whether it be making a difference with 25 or 50 students as a 4th grade teacher, or hundreds of students as a middle school principal, or thousands of students as a district leader, that's why I wanted to become a superintendent, is to have that scope of influence where you can make a positive impact in the lives of students. I've been blessed in my career to work with great mentors, to work with great leaders and principals and superintendents, and really there's a lot of characteristics that drive me to be better, but if I had to pick one, it would be passion. I'm inspired by leaders that have a passion for what they do, a passion to make a difference, and a passion to go above and beyond the call of duty to do the job the way that it's supposed to be done. We're ready to move on to the next chapter in the future of the Strongsville City School District, and I know that all of our staff are dedicated and ready to put in the work necessary to ensure that we have a successful future in our district. We need to be an innovative district. We need to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our students as they enter the workforce or they prepare for a college degree. The challenge in that is there's a finite pool of resources to do that, but we are dedicated in our district to looking at all means possible to ensure that we're providing an educational environment that's going to prepare our students for their future.
As winter came to an end, plans were already in place, crews were lined up to start the work that's necessary in the spring to pour the foundations and to start the block work, which is the main part of the building and the walls of the classrooms. The crews were on site in mass. You could see that we had many construction workers on site with many different areas being worked on. The foundations, the block walls, the brick veneer. There was some structural steel being put in place, concrete pads being poured. Some of the more recently completed areas include the gym walls have been painted, so now we're going to see what appears to be a finished product. And you can honestly see where the students and the faculty and the community can use this area. Also, you're going to see a recently completed area was the concrete pad for the 2nd floor was poured on top of the deck of the 1st floor. This is just part of the process. Now that that pad is poured and will cure over the next couple of days, they will begin putting the block walls that will make up the 2nd floor on top of that pad. And so the process continues. And today you can see all the activity going on here at the construction site. Obviously the 1st floor is almost complete, which is basically the 6th grade wing. There's some art rooms and special ed areas in there. Right here in the middle where you can see the building pad poured without the walls, those are actually going to be our music classrooms, vocal music and instrumental music. Just beyond that, where you see the heavy equipment working, they're digging out where the lower part of the auditorium will be, and beyond that will be the media center. As you come further over here, you can see what is the gymnasium. The brick veneer wall is up. They're doing some other prep work as they get ready to enclose the building later on this summer. By the end of the summer, we should see all 3 stories of the classroom wing up and enclosed. And before winter sets in, obviously the brick veneer, the windows, the roof, all that will be on. A lot is happening. It's happening quick. Everybody in the district is really excited about it.
I was actually asked to head up commencement last year, right before the commencement ceremony. So I was a little bit in shock. Mr. Smithberger asked me if I'd be the senior class advisor for this coming school year. And I said, sure. And he's like, well, great, graduation's tomorrow. Can you come to see what you're going to get in for? Okay. So seeing the students at such a large venue, I was in complete shock of how am I going to pull this off next year. It was just, I was completely overwhelmed. Knowing what all goes into commencement, it's really a unique experience to see the seniors walk across the stage to get their diploma, that smile that they have as they receive their diploma, looking out into the crowd at their peers and for their parents. I can really see their sense of accomplishment and their joy as they've completed this 4-year journey. To get that diploma, that symbol that they've made it, is something that is very unique, especially knowing what all the preparations they've done to make that happen. Running commencement is a very, very big task. Between myself, the secretaries and clerks at the school, the staff at CSU, the staff at Jostens, the students themselves, guidance counselors that work together in order to pull off commencement. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that people don't get to see, whether it's putting the kids in order, running the commencement practice that Friday before it happens, making sure that the list of names are read correctly. So there's about 30 to 40 people that make this event happen.
I came to Strongsville City Schools from Cleveland City Schools, where I attended kindergarten. I went to Chapman Elementary School from 1st to 6th grade, and then after 6th grade I went to Albion Middle School for 7th to 8th grade. And then after Albion I went to Strongsville High School, where I just finished up my junior year, and next August I will be going into my senior year. Our physics class at the high school, the first quarter project for us was building a Rube Goldberg machine.
Okay, so this is our explanation of our Rube Goldberg machine, Team Absolute Zero. So it all is going to start when someone pulls this lever, and this lever will knock down this weight. When this weight is released, it will release this awesome trebuchet, which, as you can see...
A Rube Goldberg machine is an overly engineered machine that is meant to complete a specific and simple task. So like for our contest, we had to erase a whiteboard or a chalkboard, but you want to add overly complex and a lot of steps to something that would be relatively easy to do. So for our competition, we had to construct a machine that was 20 to 75 steps that would erase a whiteboard or a chalkboard or something like that. There were other different criteria that we were judged on, such as innovativeness, kind of comedic steps, and use of everyday household items. And what it kind of teaches is problem solving, just kind of creativity. So a lot of it is fun, but it also does hold some good educational purposes, and a lot of it is entertainment though. I think there were two things that were really enjoyable, and that would be the just kind of working together as a group. They were all my friends, and we all had a really good time building it, even though it was a school project. And then also the problem solving. At times there were different parts of the machine where we had to do certain things that would be relatively difficult, and just kind of figuring out a good way to do that and the best way, that was a really enjoyable part of the process. In the future, there are two options I'm currently exploring. One of them would be something in the sciences, specifically physics, so most likely something with engineering, a mechanical engineer or something to that degree. Or also, I'm very interested in the computer sciences. There's a class at the high school that I took that really got me interested in programming and computer science. As of right now, I'm more interested in the physics and engineering.